in the land of the living. Thank goodness. That was not fun last week. I've kind of fallen down on the ball, if you want to say, this week, because we didn't get up Devotion Tuesday, and I don't know if I'm going to get up.
2 miles, turn left onto Gas Road.
I can't think what it is now. Topic Thursday. So if those two don't go up today, I just thought I'd come live at least. Tomorrow, or it's not Thursday yet, it's Wednesday, so I've got another day. I've got another day to do it. I'm going to start bringing back topics. I think that's really good to kind of bring those back into the format and have some things to talk about. We've gotten some new subscribers. I had put up a short with the Blessed Connection cakes, and it's almost at 10K, which is about what the level Mocha was at. So I'm excited about that, and we're almost at 800. We're about 680 watch hours away from 3,000. So if anybody can help with that, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. We're on day 3 of the Weight Watchers, and I'm doing pretty good. Yesterday was really, for me, just getting my 64 ounces worth of water was huge. But I'm finding out that being able to have someplace to put in everything and I remember Weight Watchers years ago where you literally had to look at the food, measure it out, go to their book, look up the points, and this is all by app and by phone. What a huge difference. It makes it so much easier. I even signed up Christina, signed up Josh, and it is so much easier to do because, like this morning, I had a protein shake and I just went ahead and scanned it and put it right in the system. And I was able to count my water yesterday and put it right in the system. And so it really compared to what it was years ago, is so much easier. And they do have, and I didn't know if they still did it, they do still have meetings.
In half a mile, turn right onto Gas Road.
So I thought maybe we would think about going that. I offered that to Christina. I said, if you wanted to go, I'll be glad to go with you. If you would feel welcome, if you would feel better if I went with you one time. Anyway, so I'm excited because it really makes you think when you start putting in everything that goes in here.
Turn right onto Gas Road.
You're doing pretty good, better than yesterday, that's for sure. But
at the stop sign, turn right onto County Road 144.
Anyway, so
in 3/4 of a mile, turn left onto Cockley Road.
So, but anyway, it really does help tremendously to have it where you're seeing what exactly you're doing. Excuse me just a minute. You're seeing what you're putting in your mouth. You're putting it there. You're banking it. So I thought it was very helpful, and I'm excited to see what the excited to see it. Excuse me a minute, y'all. Goodbye. Anyway, so the thing is that I'm finding it very helpful, and I'm finding it being able to track what you're eating, track all the stuff is actually very helpful because you're realizing what you're doing. Should I be eating that? Do I want? It's almost like I'm not driving, my husband is. It's almost kind of like you're sitting there going, you know, is it worth deducting from your bank points? Yes or no? So I'm finding it extremely helpful, and I'm looking forward to talking about my journey with Weight Watchers from a fibromyalgia perspective. Dealing with fibromyalgia, you deal with other things. You deal with other things. You deal with other things. Where'd it go? Deal with other things in the sense that you're dealing with other things in the sense that you have a chronic illness, and so when you're dealing with that, you have another factor to deal with. And so I'm looking forward to talking about it from a fibromyalgia perspective. I'm excited to talk about it, and boy, did the people come out today. I'll tell you what. Whew. So anyway, but I'm looking forward to that. Now, I did get the Floetrol, so eventually I'll be able to show you all a little bit about paint pour and how to do it. It's awesome. If you don't know how to paint, it's a great way to not make a mess. You make a mess, but you don't have to worry about being painting in lines and all that kind of stuff. It's so much fun, and it's very relaxing. So I got the Floetrol to be able to do it. I got some wooden earrings from Hobby Lobby. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them yet, but I can paint pour on those, and it's really fun to watch, and it's fun to show. And then, of course, I can put them up in the merch store, and so forth. We're not talking political here. We're not going to, if we want to put in the stuff that was being put in the chat, we're not going to have that. This is a channel based for community, based for connection. We're going to be respectful when we come in here, and if you're not going to be respectful, you're gone. Plain and simple. I want this to be nothing but a safe place for people to come, and 100%. And that's what we're going to do. I'm not getting into politics. It's too much of a divisive issue. And right now, I think our country needs the less divisive we can get, the better.
Less division.
So, anyway, the best we can do is just, we need to lift everybody up, not tear them down. Tearing them down does nothing. Lifting them up is what we need to be doing, and we need to be showing people love and doing all that and everything, and it matters what comes out of somebody's mouth. And I struggle with fibromyalgia. It's a genuine issue. And if yesterday I was on a live with somebody. I wasn't on the live, but I was in the chat, and they said something very profound. And it was like I said to my counselor today, I kind of, when you're dealing with a chronic illness, you need to have somebody to talk to, because you can deal with depression and just from being in pain all the time. And it was kind of pup groomer 20. Somebody said within the chat, it was her live that she was doing. When people are dealing with a chronic illness, they tend to self-isolate themselves I'm like, man, isn't that the truth? I'm like, that's very true, because you're just doing normal things every day. You get worn out just from hurting. You get worn out from going, do I have the
worn out from trying to explain what
you
your
know,
problem is.
and there's a part of that where you have to say yes. And I said to my therapist, I said, yeah, I think I've probably been doing that over the past month or so, just dealing with some stuff, and I've been self isolating myself, and so that's something that we have to break. And I'm taking people on this journey of going down Weight Watchers because I want to bring people along. I thought it was so poignant.
Sorry, 30 seconds.
So poignant that Tommy was talking on the lifeboat about sugar and in that kind of realm, that being an addiction. And it is. Food can become an addiction. And just, we have to have that support and that system in place so that when you're dealing with that, when you're going through a struggle within your life, you can go to your 5, you can go to somebody that you can count on, that you're running to that connection and say, listen, I'm going through this right now and I want to do this. But the best thing you can do is making sure that you're connected with somebody.
I'm going to drop you here and go there, so.
Just go ahead and park for a minute. So, we have to make sure that we're having the support system, we're connected, and there was no parking for Dollar Tree. Okay, never mind. Hi, Don Gloves. I'm about ready to make you a mod. Boy, they've all been coming out today. They've all been coming out today. I've had them in droves today. And guess what? You want to come in? I don't care. We'll deal with it, right? We got it covered. Yep. Hi, Kim. How are you? Yep. I mean, that's very true. It is true. Connection, when we realize how much that changes, it becomes a part of us where we find it hard. Where we go, that's what we know in our heads what we should be doing, right? Hi, Match, how are you? That's what we should be doing. We should be running towards connection, right? We should be running to that. It's like, I know people are going to sit there saying, well, whatever they want to say. We're going to have struggles and we're going to have difficulties, but if we remember that whatever we're used to doing when something is a struggle, we need to make sure that we're running to connection to help us through it, because we're not going to do it without that. And I'm so blessed for the connections that I've made through the lifeboat and through other channels, and making sure, boy, if you look back, boy, they have shown up today. And that's fine. Let them show up. But we have to run to the connection. We have to run and get the connection there so that we can deal with it appropriately.
You can't say something nice, don't say it at all.
Well, that's good. My husband will say I have a wonderful wife that helps me. But here's one thing that people need. You know, Mike, here's one thing that has really kind of helped me. I have my daughter, I have my husband, I have my mom. But sometimes when there's a situation that happens, whatever that may be, when you're going through it, it is so important to have people outside of your family circumstance and situation, so that when they can often look at the situation from a very different perspective than you can. I've often used the example, when I take my glasses off, everything's all fuzzy. When I put them on, it's clear. And sometimes we need those five and those people outside of, even though they are five, that can look at it from a perspective and say, are you not seeing this? Because sometimes when we're in the family situation, well, yes, absolutely, it's hard to trust. When you're in the situation itself, you know, it's difficult. For instance, let's use this instance yesterday. Now, I know I'm connected with my daughter. I get that. Yesterday, something happened, and she was cooking dinner, and the casserole dish exploded in the oven. And she was making bratwurst, and she said, I just washed off the brats. I think they'll be fine. I said, oh no. Here's this whole mess in front of her. She's overwhelmed and she's tired, right? Yeah, you could wash off the bratwurst, and most likely no glass got anywhere in the brats. But on the slightest chance it did, let's not risk your or your husband's health and well-being for this. So what did Mama do? I got on the phone and I ordered them Jersey Mike's. They both were tired. My son-in-law had to go to work. I just ordered them. I said, don't worry about it. Take everything that was around with the glass and throw it in the trash. It's not worth whatever was money you spent on those for you to wind up in the hospital sick because you've ingested a little piece of glass you didn't realize. And just as I was saying that to my daughter, she said, Mom, I just stepped on a piece of glass. How did a piece of glass get on the floor? And I said, you don't know where it's gone. But I said, I won't even hear of it. I didn't even let her away from it. She goes, no, that's okay, Mom. You don't have to. I said, no. Everything that's gotten exploded around the glass, I want it in the trash. And I wouldn't even take no for an answer. I was not there in the mix of the situation. I was outside of the situation, and I was able to see it from a clearer perspective. Sometimes we need those connection points so that we can, in the mix of the situation, go, okay, help. I'm going through it. I know that I'm going to come on at one point saying, you know what? I'm on the Weight Watchers, but you know what? I messed up today. And I want it to be, I can't come on every day, but I want to come on saying to people, listen, yeah, you messed up, but tomorrow's a new day. You start tomorrow. You do it tomorrow. I think sometimes we tend to beat ourselves up so bad that we think we throw in the whole towel. I know that there's going to be days where I'm going to be over in my points. I'm not going to have stuck to whatever it is. I'm going to mess up, but that's today. And what's wonderful about the Weight Watchers app is, what does it do the next day? It refreshes it, and I get a whole new chance to do it all over again. I think if you think you go into anything without thinking you're not going to mess it up, yeah. Well, I told Christina to use, I said, she said she had garden gloves. I said, get garden gloves and put them in the, put them on your hands before you start cleaning up the glass because, you know, she's a diabetic. She could get an infection from it. But my fear was with the glass that maybe when it exploded, it got into the brats and maybe under the skin a little bit. And if she chewed on it, or Jared, you know, her husband chewed on it, chip a tooth, or maybe they would swallow it and a little piece of glass got in and nicked it, and it wasn't worth it. Yep, it wasn't worth the risk of taking. I said, you're playing Russian roulette with glass, and let's not do that. It's not worth it. But sometimes in life, we're going to have messes, and we're going to make a mess. And what do we have to do? We have to clean it up. And they both worked. They got all the mess cleaned up, and you know what they do with the food and the bro, all went in the trash. They started all over again. So that's kind of, I know I'm going to mess up. I know I'm going to have days where I'm going, boy, I really didn't do so hot today, but tomorrow is a new day. So I'm hoping to go down the road with this a little bit with y'all and show you my journey and talk about it. One of the very interesting recipes, and I never thought of it, was taking Greek yogurt, non-fat Greek yogurt, and now I can't have any artificial sweetener because it'll give me a migraine. Greek yogurt and the Jell-O instant pudding, and taking 2 tablespoons and putting that in, and you could even add like a little bit of whipped cream. That's only 2 points. Well, at nighttime, I've been having, because I have just a little like yogurt or something before I go to bed, and I've been having like those chapanis with the sweets, the yogurt on one side, and then like a dessert kind of yogurt. And that was 8 points. And I'm like, do I really want to waste 8 points on this? And I'm like, I don't think so. I'll finish it up, and then when it's done, it's done. But I love the idea. I never would have thought about it. Or like the orange Jell-O packets, and you take 2 tablespoons. You could do the sugar-free, but do the non-fat yogurt and just add 2 tablespoons of that. And then you got a lovely, refreshing dessert. And it just gives you that little bit of sweetness. So I thought, I'm going to go to something like that. So I'm looking forward to... and last night, I will tell you this too. Last night, I took crab meat. I like imitation crab meat. I took imitation crab meat to make crab cakes. And I took cottage cheese. I took a cup of cottage cheese, and I blended it up in the food processor with mayonnaise. And then that way I added that mixture to the crab cake mixture. And this way the crab cakes had extra, I know frills, had extra protein in them. And I didn't taste the cottage cheese at all. Nobody else did in my house. Nobody. And I actually liked it better. It had more flavor in it. And then it was giving us extra protein, which I loved. So I'm excited. I'll share some recipes and some things that I found. And, you know, I did put a referral code if anybody wants to go on this journey with me for Weight Watchers. They're welcome to. But I like the fact that I'm counting everything. I'm not counting the apps doing it all for me. But I'm really more in tune to what I'm actually eating. Not that I was eating a lot of stuff, but I didn't realize that, you would think that those little yogurt dessert things were healthy. I'm like, 8 points? Do I really want to waste 8 points? I don't think so. So it gives you a totally different way and perspective of looking at it. I never would have thought of that. So I'm excited to share it with you. And tomorrow I'm going to take you all. I don't know if I'll do a live from it. I may come on live tomorrow. But my husband is taking me. I wanted to go to the Mohican. It's a castle. It's about an hour away. He's already made a reservation tomorrow for our anniversary because our anniversary was Sunday, but we both weren't up to going any place. And so he's going to take me to lunch, so I'll take you all around. I've always wanted to go there. And the Mohican down in that area is absolutely beautiful. If we can go back, I'll show you where the Mohican, there's a wedding venue back there, and there's also little tree houses and stuff. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'll take you for that tomorrow. So be looking for that tomorrow. I think that'll be fun. I'm gonna get off here in a minute. I just wanted to check in, tell you I'm kind of back. Wait before you go anywhere. I'm back. I'm sorry that I had to kind of take a couple days off, but that whole flare up fibromyalgia was awful, and so I'm excited to get back onto things. We're really working hard to make sure our shorts and hold on a second, our Bible verses and shorts and stuff and our channel shouts outs. Oh, well, thank you from Scotland. Our shorts and stuff, we're trying to get them uploaded all the way to the end of the year. And again, if anybody can help us with any of the Hi, Miss Dragon. It does work. And I used it years ago. I mean, years and years ago, before you had the app. You literally had to go and listen, I loved Optavia. And if I could go back on Optavia, I'd go back on it in a heartbeat. But Optavia has a lot of ingredients. They're not ingredients, their food is expensive. Because you do one meal a day and then you do fueling throughout the day that you have to get from them. And I can't afford their food. But I would go on there in a heartbeat if I could again. But one thing that I really like about, and so I thought, well, I'll try Weight Watchers again. I did it years ago, years ago, of course, you had to go. They had a book, so you had to write everything down and track everything. This is all done by app. I even connected. They use bars, but they also I love their brownie mix, and I used to take their vanilla shake and put it in decaf coffee and make that. They had bars, they had other stuff. But I lost 50 pounds on Optavia, and then I had to get off of it, and then after Christina's wedding, I've gained about 20 back. And I got to a point where I'm not going back to where I was before I started Optavia. We ain't going there. And so I've decided that was it. And they were running a special for $9.99 a month. And then I got a free month this month, and it's $9.99 for the next 9 months. But I like the app, because then you can just scan your food. Like I scanned my protein shake this morning. It went right into the thing. It draws the points. It tracks the steps I take. It tracks my water. I'm really, it's very easy compared to what it was years ago for the people that did it. So I don't mind taking everybody along on the journey with me. Miss Dragon, you missed it. Boy, did we have an onslaught. Phew. First 5 minutes, I had to pull Josh's phone out because I was having to block people left and right and sideways. My Lord, I got them all out today. Whew. But it was okay. It's okay, right? But we're going to have some discussions about this journey. Yeah, I love Optavia. I loved it. I lost 50 pounds on it. Loved it. It was simple and easy. Absolutely loved it. I just couldn't afford the pricing. And my husband lost. My daughter was underneath 200, but I can't afford the pricing. Hi, DJ. Couldn't afford the pricing. So, but I will I will have a discussion. We'll talk about this. I think it's a worthy discussion to have, is going down this journey. And yeah, well, that's fine. They can all show up. I was having fun going, okay, we're not having this daily stuff, right? But I think it's a worthy journey. You've seen a lot of people talk about Weight Watchers, but here's the other side of it. Weight Watchers coming from the perspective of somebody with fibromyalgia. It changes things a little bit because of what you can do activity-wise. So it's worth trying. Okay, well, thank you so much for letting us know. Now, tomorrow again, I'll come on. I'll take you down to that castle. We'll go down to a field trip. I'm going for our anniversary. I think that was very sweet of him. He said, I already made reservations. You need to be ready here. So I'll listen. Anyway, but I'll share some recipes and some things, and we'll talk about it. We're going to do some paint pour, and we're going to get back into doing topics. Like when I was doing and steaming on the lifeboat, I was very good about going to find topics to talk about. I've kind of gotten away from that, and we'll get there. We're almost at 800, and if anybody can help with any kind of watch hours, that would be greatly appreciated. We're about 680 hours away of doing watch hours, and I'm excited to get to that 3,000 mark. We're excited to get there. So if you haven't gone, check out our merch store. Oh, that would be awesome to do a Route 66. And that cupcake short that I did, I've almost topped Mocha. It's almost reached 10K. I mean, I've almost gotten her. She's still the short superstar of our channel, but I've almost gotten her. Well, that's awesome. Like I said, we're 680 away from 3,000 on the watch hour. So any help with that would be greatly appreciated. So I'm going to get off here because my phone's going to die. But we'll be talking about this for sure, and I'll be taking you along for my journey when it comes to this. And we're all here to help each other. We're all here to lift each other up. We all have each other covered, and that's the point of it. So stay connected, you all. Have a blessed day, and I will see you all probably tomorrow. And again, stay connected, you all, and we got you covered. Bye-bye.